In this video, we're going to learn about Python dictionaries. So just to review a little bit, each value in a list is called an element. Each element of the list has a blank value, and that would be an index value. Index values in a list start at, so remember in Python, we start counting from 0. Can elements in a list change? And the answer to that, just like variables, is yes. A list can contain elements of different data types, and that is true. So a list is a collection of objects, and they can be of any different data type. All right, so now on to Python dictionaries. So a dictionary, if you think about in English, a dictionary is a book that lists words of a language and gives their meaning. So in other words, you would have a word and then you'd have a definition. So it kind of works the same way in Python. And just to let you know, a dictionary is also known as a map. So you might see in other places that a dictionary might be called a map. They mean the same thing. And that's because, as we'll see in a moment, a dictionary maps a unique key to a value. So just like in English, you're going to have a key or a word and a value. Also, in other programming languages, this construct has been around for a very long time. It's also known as an associative array or a hash table, which were first used in 1953. So again, in Python, a dictionary is a container that keeps an association between keys and values. So just kind of keep that in your mind. You're going to have a key, kind of like a dictionary's word, and then you're going to have a value, which is kind of like its meaning. So every key in a dictionary has an associated value. Keys are unique, but a value may be associated with several keys. So in other words, if you were to think about a dictionary, an English dictionary, every word would be unique, but different words could all have the same meaning. All right, each key value pair is separated by a colon, and key value pairs are enclosed by a curly brace. So the syntax looks a little bit different from what you've used before with lists. So again, this time instead of the brackets, we're going to use the curly braces. And to separate the keys and the values, you're going to put a colon in between. Similar to a list, to separate out the key values, you're going to have a comma. But just kind of note to yourself here, you're going to have a key, colon, value, comma, key, colon, value. The subscript operator bracket is used to return the value associated with the key. And you also have access to the len function, which will return the length of the dictionary. All right, so we're going to see some examples of this in a few moments. All right, some other dictionary functions and operations. So just like lists, you can say something like key in D, and that would test whether or not a key is inside of the dictionary. You could also say key not in D. To add something to the dictionary, you would just say dictionary name, bracket, whatever key you want to give it, equal value. If you wanted to remove the key and its associated value from the dictionary, you would just say dpop key. If you wanted a list of keys, you would just say dictionary name dot keys, and if you wanted a sequence of values, you would just say d.values. Just like a list, you could use a for loop to iterate over the keys in a dictionary. So the syntax for that could be something like for key and D, and then you would have something like print key and then D key, which would be the value. All right, some examples here. So first, let's create our handy dandy menu code. So let's create a new file here. Let's call it lecture 13. And we'll come up with our menu code here. So we'll say done equal false, while not done. And we'll say print, and we'll say menu. And we'll say print, we'll say example, we'll say E1 for example 1. And then we'll have our choice equal input, and we'll have if choice equal E1, and we'll say print example 1, and we'll say else, invalid choice, and at the same time we'll create a menu attribute for quit, and so we'll have choice equal quit, and we'll say print quit. All right, let's test out this code here. We've got lecture 13, and everything looks good. It keeps looping. Okay, good. So let's go back to our example here. So we're going to create a dictionary named states with the following keys and values. So we have our state abbreviations, which are going to be our keys, and then we're going to have full name for their values. So just like with lists in our last lecture, I posed the question, do you want to create the dictionary inside or outside of the while loop? So be careful with that. So the answer to that is typically you'd want to create it outside of the loop. Otherwise, every time it loops, it'll declare it again and again. So you don't necessarily want that. So first state we had was California. So CA is a string, and that's why it belongs in quotations. So we have California. And let's look what our next state is here. We've also got Texas. So we've got TX for Texas. Let's make it a little bit more room over here. And then we have Florida. So we've got FL, got Florida. And let's keep adding here. We've got NJ for New Jersey. And then we have NY for New York. And just remember, you gotta end with a curly brace there. All right. So we've created our list, we've created our dictionary of our states and their abbreviations here. All right, now using a for loop, let's print out the keys and the values. And before the for loop, let's print the header, key, and value. So let's go into our E1 choice here. So we'll print key of value. And let's use our for loop here. So again, we could do something like for key in D, which is our dictionary name. We'll print out key, and we'll print out the value. Kind of looks like this. All right, so let's run this again. And you see here, we've got our keys and values. Let me just put a tab over here so it's a little bit more clear with the separation there. And voila, we've got our keys and we've got our values here. So the syntax again looks very similar to a list. Syntax I think actually looks a little bit simpler with the for loops. So remember, you've got for key and D, and then you've got print key, and then we tabbed it over, and then we have our value, and to print out our value, it's D key. All right. And that's our output there. So let's look at example 2. Let's check if CA is a key in the dictionary. If it is, we'll print out yes, CA is a key in the dictionary. Else, we'll print out no, CA is not a key in the dictionary. So let's add a menu item here. So we'll say print E2, example 2, and we'll add another menu option here, example 2. So we're going to check to see if CA is a key in the dictionary. So if CA in D, will print, let's see what we want to print out here. CA is a key in the dictionary. CA is a key in the dictionary. Okay. Else, print CA is not a key in the dictionary. All right, so let's see if this worked here. Let's quit it, save it, let's run it. And CA is in the dictionary, and that's why we get the message CA is in the dictionary. All right, so in this example, actually, in this solution, I actually use an input here. That's your choice. I just coded it for CA. All right, ask the example 3. Ask the user to enter another state with their abbreviation and name, and then add this to the dictionary. So let's see how that works. So let's go for example 3 here. So print E3, example 3, and we're going to give it choice equal E3, print example 3, and we'll ask the user for a new state. Input new state abbreviation, I'll add an A there, and then we'll say new state, we'll say name, and we'll put new state name, and then we'll input that into our, we'll add that into our dictionary. So we'll say D bracket new state A equal new state N. And then after that, we'll print out our list again. here we go. So we've got A3. We're gonna add a new state abbreviation. Let's put hi for Hawaii. At least I think that's the abbreviation. And now we have Hawaii as part of our dictionary. All right. And example 4, let's ask the user for an abbreviation to delete, and then we're going to delete it from the dictionary. So let's add example 4 here. And let's ask the user to delete, so we'll say state abbreviation to delete, some of that space there. And if we look back at our syntax about how that works, it's back. It's back here. So it's d.pop and then key. So we'll say d.pop and the key here is delete. So let's go ahead, clear that, let's run that, and we have E4. And so let's delete New Jersey. And when we run E1 again, we'll notice, which is our for loop, we'll notice that New Jersey is no longer here. All right, and let me just go through, and that's about it. So please let me know if you have any questions.